Hey, you guys, MHN by Terra. I am here, Goddess Intuition. I hope you guys are doing fabulous, honey, because I am. So let's get right into the video. So you guys know that I never stay on topic. So that's why I'm going to talk about just a few topics instead of one, okay? So we're coming into Virgo season, you guys. It's here already. Tomorrow, Friday, August 30th, we are having a new moon in Virgo. Okay. My grandmother, she's a Virgo. Love, love, love her. So it's very earthy. And you know what? I'm a fire sign, but I'm feeling it. I'm feeling the earthy. I'm loving it though, because I do have Taurus in my chart. So, I've been grounding myself through meditation and just being in nature, and I'm loving it actually because I've really been energized, right? So, and like I said, connecting with the elements and just really taking the time to enjoy the beauty that's around me, right? And that has everything to do with nature. I love beautiful plants and trees and just looking up at the sky and having my shoes off while I'm walking in the grass, and it's a lot. So, and it's so fun. Um, it makes me feel like a kid again. Of course, we are all still kids at heart, right? We're children at heart, that inner child. But it's like when you take off your shoes while you're in nature and you just walk in the grass and just pick up the leaves and just take the time to stop and smell the roses, y'all, you will see a big difference in your life, right? Because it's like sometimes when we're so busy, when we are going through a lot of different things before we've had our awakenings, right? A lot of the times we pass those just natural, beautiful things by like it's nothing. And it's something because nature by itself is so beautiful. Nothing like that should be passed by and just looked upon. We're nature, right? We're a part of nature. We are nature, and so we want to be seen as something beautiful, as something that is a masterpiece. So why do we feel like we have to or even get a chance to walk by a tree without acknowledging a tree, or without stopping and smelling the roses? And it's natural, and it's just in our view, and so those are the things that I think about, and I'm really, really happy that I get a chance to experience, nature, and just being in that state of peace from a relaxed space. And I'm able to open up my mind and actually see, what's in front of me and take the time to just sit in that, right? And so that's what I really wanted to talk about a little bit in this video. Um, we're coming into where the days are shorter and the nights are longer, and so it's going to be dark, and it's a lot that happened, in hidden times. But you can really use this time to really harness energy and harness the elements and really just get to yourself. It's harvest season. It's a beautiful, profound time, and it's very magical and mystical, and it's free. You know, um, you get a chance to really experience just being. It's like what's coming to me. It's like a covenant. You get a chance to experience, if you allow yourself, the shift. If you allow yourself to experience the shift and experience the covenant with, it's like a sacred covenant with yourself, with your spiritual team, with the people that's really unseen. You know what I'm saying? And what I'm talking about is not external. Let's just shift the narrative. I'm talking about the sacred covenant from within, with your soul, with your intuition. And so right now, it's things are shifting, things are the planets, the stars, everything is shifting, and energy, new energy, we're getting rid of old energy, and we're harnessing new energy so we can create space and manifest and really become who we're meant to be right now on this timeline. And what I mean is this timeline of being abundant, being at peace, being happy, being in that frequency of just bliss and pleasure. And it's not coming from a external factor. Of course, when we reach certain levels, we get a chance to experience it from it's like it's a reflection, right? And so when we get to certain levels, when we get to ourselves, unlock certain things within us, and just be in that moment, be present, you get a chance to see it, and it's reflecting on the outside of you, right? And you're able to identify, and it feels like it's supposed to be just whatever it is that you're experiencing. You know what I'm saying? It's like, I know for me, let me just say, we've just, even from like childhood and on up, knew that there was always there's something that's bigger than us, right? But we are that. We are a part of that. And I can remember just when I was a kid, and just like daydreaming in this state of blissfulness. It's like we're here, 3D, but when you close your eyes and when you begin to just allow yourself to be free in that moment, you wander. And while you're wandering, you wander to this magical place, this mystical place. And I can remember just being there and me feeling like, is this real? And it always felt real to me. And like I said, as we get older, we don't have that magic. It seemed like the magic is kind of, it gets closed down because we're dealing with life. We're dealing with just getting older, and college, careers, family. And so we just forget what that feels like. But once we feel that feeling again, we know what it is. And that's it has everything to do from excuse me, I'm stumbling over my words. It has everything to do with what's already there within us. I know I'm not the only one that have experienced this before. It's like after you've gone through a stage of awakening, it's like you feel like, wow, this is a real place. What I've been dreaming about, or what I've been drawn about, it's real. And it's it's just really profound and beautiful. And where we are now is we're already here. Actually, I don't want to keep on saying like we're coming into, but where we are right now is everyone around us is experiencing this, whether they know it or not. We know because, of course, we're the ones in the forefront, but it's like that place all over again. But it's higher, it's more, we're open with it now. And, back in the day when we were younger, of course, dealing with religion and dealing with, just like family and stuff, you can be shunned for dreaming or having such a huge, incredible imagination. You know what I'm saying? You can be shunned for that, especially in like the black communities, because we've been so conditioned to believe that we're not supposed to just be beautiful and just be who we are. So a lot of the times it's seen as foolish, and it's seen as like, oh, it's not real, wake up, go seek for a real career, and whatever. And it's like, that's not who we are as people, right? That's not who we are. And it's so just, I'm happy that we're able to, in this timeline right now, be free and say, you know what, it's okay that I believe in fairies. It's okay that I can communicate with the trees, and I understand, you know what I'm saying. And so it's like I said, you get a chance to really connect with yourself, connect with nature, and connect with just all of the elements, and even your soul family, right? The internet is so profound. Yes, there's a dark side to everything, but the internet is so profound, and it's so much information and so many different people that we can connect with. I received a download the other day, and you know how sometimes you feel like you're alone? Not saying that it's a good feeling or a bad feeling. It's just that whole idealistic of being alone, or being like isolated, right? Or like an introvert. So what I've come to know is that we're not alone. And even on the internet, if you want to like connect with different soul family, or just different people that are speaking your same language, and it's okay for you to do that, right? Because you may not have a lot of people around you, but you do have social media. So let's say if you want to get involved, or more involved with, or learn more about like finances, right? Or just whatever, you can easily go to YouTube, go to like Google, go to Instagram, what have you, right? And when you search, when you put something in a search engine, it's going to reflect and recommend. It's like a spinning wheel, right? It's going to recommend everything that's related to that subject, or whatever it is that you typed in, right? And so it's like you have to surround yourself with that, whatever it is. Whether it's you trying to better yourself, like I said, learn about finances, or just, whatever it is that you're studying at the time, right? You can surround yourself, even if you don't have people that's around you right now, present with you. You still can connect with certain people and connect with information, right? And I think that is really, really nice and profound, and connect with people that is, on your frequency level. And this is how we meet our soul family, and we come into, meeting different people that are just like us, right? Most likely that's our soul family. We're all connected through the stars, or through different stargates, so I just really been thinking about that also, just to switch the narrative, bloodlines, sacred bloodlines, and sacred soul ties, and contracts. It's a lot that's happening, but you can kind of ride the wave. You can, just kind of sail along the way, when you know yourself, and when you focus on yourself, and I believe that we all have the opportunity right now to do that. you know and I made a post the other day, and I said, The level up never ends. And the same thing is with our spirituality. It's constant, it's infinite. And so you may be on one subject, studying one subject 1 week or for like a month, and then you're going to move on to something else. That's who we are. And when you take the time to like really focus on yourself, you don't have room for anything else, because whatever it is that, when you tap into yourself, let me just say this, when you tap into yourself and tap into your soul and who you are on a galactic level, everything else is going to reflect that. It's different layers. So you may go through one stage, then you'll go through another stage, and it's constant, right? It's constant. And so I think that is very, very, it's everything is happening the way that it should be happening. Whether it's, now you could be on the other end of the scale. Okay, you could be on the other end of the scale, and you may be dealing with karma, which we all do. You may be dealing with going through a dark night of the soul. You may be going through tower moments, whatever, but it's all for the greater good. Once you surrender, and it's very profound, because the will doesn't stop. It's a constant, infinite will, and what's attached to that will is our free will. So we have the choice to make. Either we can go left or we can go right. I want to choose what's best for me. I want to choose what's is going to elevate me and my legacy. What am I leaving behind? There's no more us in the time where we're leaving trauma behind, or leaving just, dysfunction. I feel like it's over. Yes, you do have people that stay in the same timeline because they haven't switched their perception to even move forward, but everything is being cleared out. And that's what I'm talking about when I say riding that wave. Things are being cleared out. And so you can either be, like I said, on one end of the scale or the other. But it's happening. And so why not, ride the wave and see, okay, you know what? And let me just say this, Virgo season is all about priority, structure, detail. You know what I'm saying? Setting things up the way that it's behind the scenes. Dealing with feminine energy. It's hidden. It's purified. It's dealing with the unknown. It's like when a person breathes. What is that? We're here in 3D. We're not floating. So what is that that's keeping us grounded? What is that pressure? What is that in between, if I'm making any sense? You know what I'm saying? It's like it's the either. It's like we can see what's in front of us, right? But even with us hearing things, and like I said, when we speak and how breath comes out of our mouth and we can't see it, the oxygen that we breathe, we can't see it. We can feel it, right? And it's getting to that place, the unknown, getting into that space. It's unseen, but it's felt. If I'm making any sense, you don't see it, but you can feel it. And that's what we're coming into, you know. And that has everything to do with that inner intuition, inner compass, inner soul, you know. And I wanted to talk about the divine feminine and how powerful and beautiful and just sacred she is. And there are a lot of different archetypes, but I just want to mainly just focus on just the whole energy of everything that is associated with divine feminine, right? It's just an energy. It's life. It's sacred. It's hidden. You know, it can be chaos. It can be drama. You know what I'm saying? And it's like everything that is associated with her. There are many different aspects to her. There are so many different levels and ins and outs. Personally, I don't believe that she can be felt all in one lifetime. So this is why we're here for thousands of years, and you know, we're able to come back, reincarnate, and you know, live, play out different timelines, finish up different timelines, just to go into something else. You know what I'm saying? And so that's what the divine masculine as well. And yes, I believe that, you know, of course, the twin flames, the sacred union, the covenant, everything is being shifted, you know. And I don't believe everyone have a divine masculine or a divine feminine. I believe that you can tap into the energy of that. And so, because everyone doesn't want, just realistically speaking, everyone doesn't want a relationship. You know, some people just don't see themselves in a relationship, which is totally fine, right? But then you have those that know on a soul level that it's someone that they can feel. They may not know who they are. They may not know exactly what it is or anything. They just know that it's somebody that is attached to them. And I don't want to say attached. Let me not say attached. Excuse me. I want to say someone that is, it's like a sacred covenant. It's like a dance. And so when you think about the twin flames, and it's a sacred dance, right? And it's energy. It's pulling, it's pushing, you know, it's running, it's chasing. But you know that it's there. And when I learned about, you know, twin flames, and I was awakened first, I didn't even know anything about twin flames, but I knew, you know, that I had a divine counterpart, because my life just changed drastically. And I'm talking within like a year, 2 years, you know. Yes, I've gone through the dark night of the soul. And I believe that we have those, you know, every time we awaken or get to a higher level. So, but you can feel your counterpart. You can feel your counterpart, but it's within. And so you can feel that side of you that's feminine, the right side, and the left side that's more practical, which is the masculine, and how that dance is just happening within your body, right? And that's that push and pull. That's the yin, that's the yang. And so, of course, when you get to a certain level, you know, and whatever, maybe it's the person or someone else is used as a catalyst to put you on your journey, you figure out that it's not even about the union on the external level, but it's within, and that's the sacred covenant from within. And that has everything to do with your bloodline, you being here before, you being counterparts with someone, you having different contracts and soul ties, and it goes very, very, very deep, right? But it is so profound and so sacred, and it has everything to do with your mind and just what's passed down to you through your bloodline and through your royal bloodline. I don't know about you guys, but I never imagined my life to be what it is now. I was always I'm an Aries sun, and so I'm like, go getter, want to go to college and get a career, and but I never in a million years imagined that my life would be what it is right now. And just me being on my path and me learning about divine masculine, divine feminine, and just sacred covenant with the universe, and it's like this whole magical world. and it's like it's something that is really, really just, I remember just crying like when I became awakened for the first time, and I'm like, all of this time I thought that I was wrong for feeling the way that I felt, as far as just, like I said, let me just go back to what I was saying about what was I saying about how you can be shunned for feeling different ways, right, with our family, and just fast forward, and you all along, you knew, like, I knew I couldn't put my finger on it exactly, but I knew something was just beyond, right? And not saying that you feel bad afterwards, because of course, as time go on and we go through different things and we learn to release things and let things go, right? And just even with our own self, and how a lot of us doubted ourselves, right? But once you learn that everything happened the way that it should, or that it did happen the way that it needed to, in order for you to be like right here, right now, everything else, you gonna release it, because it's like, all of this time I didn't know that I had all of these magical gifts, magical powers, connected to a divine counterpart. All of this was created for me to learn who I really am. It's like, okay. So I can remember just being in a state of shock, like, is this real? And those are the moments that your spiritual guides step in and say, yeah. My spiritual guides are so funny. I love them to death. But they step in and they're like, yeah, yep, you're chosen. Yep, you have great responsibility. And you'd be like, oh, okay. But in those moments, you don't doubt, and we all deal with that as natural. We deal with doubt. We deal with, like, oh, I don't know if I'm good enough, just because of what we live in, because of what has been placed upon us for us to be conditioned in, right? So yes, we go through, you're like, oh, I don't know if I know this, or I don't know if this is right, I don't know if I should feel like this, yada yada yada, so, but those are the times where your spiritual guides step in and say, hey, you got this. This is passed down, sacred royal bloodline, it's passed down to you. So here you have two worlds, even more than that, but just to keep it simple, two worlds. You either going to you're either going to just fold and say, oh, I'm not going to do any of this, I give everything up. That's your free will. Or you can say, you know what, okay, yeah, this is my legacy. Instead of me searching it on the outside, trying to build while killing myself. And yes, we see a lot of our elders that has done this before. It's just, but all of that's led up to now. The real wealth is within. The real legacy is within. It's passed down through a sacred bloodline, our DNA, right? Our blood. So what we think that we have to go run to build, it's really within already. And once we tap into that and not learn, but grow into knowing that that's within, it really does switches everything that you ever thought that you even knew. It's like boom. And you just say, you know what, I'm here, I'm going to surrender, and I know that I want a better life. I know that I want to raise my child or to raise my children and pass down a real legacy that is meant. So you take that leap and you just go, right? So that's profound, And like I said, Virgo season is really going to open up a lot of people's eyes when it comes to that. It's dealing with, like I said, detail and structure. And so just that energy within, it's like getting to the root. And this is constant. Getting to the root, clear. We're not just clearing out for ourselves, we're clearing out for our bloodline, right? Because so much has taken place. We've been through so much slavery, of course, just different energetic things that has happened, within our bloodline. And we see it through action, through reaction, through our behaviors and things like that. But as we go on and continue to shift the narrative and clear things out, you're clearing up your bloodline. When you clear up and when you get down to the root within yourself, you are clearing up the bloodline.